U.S. President unveiled proposal to reform and establish term limits on corrupt Supreme Court. Police probe mysterious shooting death of JDF Soldier. Man accused of killing ex-girlfriend released by judge. This is Undiluted News. Mikey Bones reporting. U.S. President Joe Biden has unveiled a sweeping proposal to reform the Supreme Court, calling on lawmakers to establish term limits and form an ethics code to restore trust and accountability in its 9 justices. The conservative-leaning court has become a political battlefield in recent years, with its 9 justices unelected and able to serve for life, playing a powerful role in American life on everything from abortions to the environment. Mr. Biden has also called on lawmakers to pass a constitutional amendment limiting presidential immunity, a move which would reverse a recent Supreme Court decision. In Jamaica, the Office of the Director of Public Prosecution has made 14 rulings to the Independent Commission of Investigations (INDECOM) for charges to be laid against 16 members of the security forces. INDECOM says the rulings were not in relation to cases investigated in 2024, but cover offenses allegedly committed between 2020 and 2023. To date, criminal prosecutions have been initiated in 10 of the 14 cases. 9 members of the JCF, 2 correctional officers, and 1 member of the Jamaica Defense Force have been implicated. The 4 remaining cases are awaiting action from INDECOM and the Inspectorate and Professional Standards Oversight Bureau, which is prior to criminal proceedings being initiated. The cases featured 3 police officers and 1 correctional officer, and the offense for which the members of the security forces are being prosecuted are 3 cases of murder, 5 assault, 1 unlawful wounding, and 1 traffic infraction. Meanwhile, a photo showing Dwayne Vaz, a former member of parliament for the People's National Party and an individual who may be connected to Friday's shooting in Negril, Westmoreland, has been making the rounds. Vaz has attempted to provide context for that picture. Police said they caught a bunch of criminals who were planning to attack a beryllium courier van, and 4 of the men were shot dead and 1 injured. And this person is said to be a person of interest in that shootout with the police. Mr. Vaz stated that the photo was shot on a school sports day during a statement on Tuesday. And in keeping with the sports day color of the house he said his son was assigned to, he added that both the man and himself were just wearing orange shirts. Reports are now that that person of interest is now in police custody. The Jamaica Defense Force said it is cooperating with the Jamaica Constabulary Force in the investigations into the death of a soldier yesterday morning. Corporal Siku Meder was found dead in a JDF service vehicle along the Norman Manley Highway in Kingston, commonly known as Palisadoes Road, and his body had a bullet wound. A weapon was recovered from him as well. Major Kashan Kunzel, Public Relations Manager for the JDF, said the force is saddened by the soldier's tragic death, but he declined to comment on what may have led to this incident. She said the incident is currently being investigated by the police. A 15-year-old boy is being treated for bullet wounds after an attack at a shop in Steertown, St. Anne on Monday evening. The incident occurred about 8:15 in the community of Hollywood, and it's reported that the teen was sitting inside the shop when a black motorcar drove up and 3 men alighted. The men opened fire, hitting him in the neck and the buttocks, and he was admitted to hospital in serious but stable condition. And this next story is heart-wrenching. A man who was accused of killing his ex-girlfriend during a domestic dispute 11 years ago was freed of the charge before the Home Circuit Court yesterday. Damian Franklin was ordered released by the presiding judge following a no-case submission by his attorney Christopher Townsend. Prosecutors had led evidence that on May 19 of 2013, Franklin visited his child's mother, Tamika Wright, at her home in Ridgewood Road in Meadowbrook Estate in St. Andrew. It is said that they argued, and during an assault, Miss Wright suffered a broken neck. She died 2 days later in hospital. And the prosecutors submitted a pathology report which showed that the body had bite marks and bruises and that the assault caused the broken neck. But during his no-case submission, Mr. Townsend argued that the prosecutors failed to prove that Mr. Franklin caused the death of Miss Wright. The judge then agreed that Franklin was not guilty. Family members of the deceased reportedly stormed out of the courtroom in anger on Tuesday afternoon following the verdict. So, how did her neck get broken? Did the wind blow on her neck and just broke it? Seriously, something needs to be done about the decision by judges in Jamaica. Every day they release people who otherwise would be found guilty in any other country or any other court. They also give bail to people who are mass murderers to go out and kill more people until the police cut them down after they get brave enough to challenge the security forces. And it seems the justice system might have to be revamped in Jamaica and just let it be a free-for-all like the Wild Wild West. And then some of these same judges will be caught in the crossfire and they will know what it feels like to have a member of your family murdered, and the person who does it is free to walk up and down enjoying life like nothing happened. How can there ever be peace and justice when the persons who are given the task to make correct decisions are so inept in their duties? There cannot be peace until there is justice. Onto sports, former Manchester United player and manager for several English clubs Steve Bruce has been linked as a strong candidate to take over as coach of the senior Reggae Boys team. The Reggae Boys are without a coach since Icelander Heimir Hallgrimsson resigned from the job on June 28 to take up an offer with the Republic of Ireland. The 63-year-old Bruce has not worked since he was sacked by West Brom Albion in October of 2022 after 8 months in charge of that team. He was also manager for Newcastle United, Aston Villa and Sheffield Wednesday. Also on the shortlist is 64-year-old Jose Santos Peseiro, who had managed 16 clubs and was assistant at Real Madrid in 2003. Peseiro managed Saudi Arabia, Venezuela and Nigeria at the 2023 African Cup of Nations tournament, where they lost 2-1 to host Ivory Coast in the final. The others on the list are Miguel Coley and former Reggae Boys Dion Burton. Shelley and Fraser Price retirement from track and field might not be happening anytime soon, according to reports. For several months there were rumors circulating that after this Olympic, Fraser Price would hang up her spikes, but after listening to an interview in Paris, it seems that she's going to continue running. In an interview with Jamaican journalists in Paris earlier this week, the 37-year-old emphasized, "It's the final Olympic Games. Let me repeat that, leaving the door open for her to continue her stellar career." Fraser Price, who has run a world record 85 sub 11 seconds 100 meters race, is the third fastest ever over the distance, with a personal best 10.60 seconds set in Lucerne, Switzerland in August of 2021. Only the world record of 10.49 seconds, which was set in 1988 by the late American Florence Griffiths Joyner, and Jamaican national record 10.54 seconds, which is set by Elaine Thompson-Hera, are faster than Pocket Rocket. Meanwhile, trouble in the camp, Stephen Francis, coach of reigning World 200 meters champion Shericka Jackson, has indicated that she is fit and ready to compete at this year's Olympic Games in Paris. And if she's ready, boy, America is going to have trouble. Concerns have been mounting over Jackson's fitness after she pulled up with an apparent injury in the women's 200 meters at the Hungarian Athletics Grand Prix earlier this month. Jackson, who was leading the race with about 50 meters to go, pulled up and limped across the finish line. Francis said she's 100% fit and is ready to win gold in both the 100 and the 200 meters. And I'm telling you, it is going to be really interesting come next week. Don't forget that the best news and sports takes place on this station. If you ever miss the news on this radio station, please go to YouTube, type in Jamerican Undiluted News, listen, like, share, and subscribe to keep it going. That's going to be news and sports on your favorite radio. My name is Mikey Bones. I gone.